Let's give ourselves a chance here at reference angles again, and then continue talking about coterminal angles. If you're going back and you're watching this video as the second video, the first one has all of the technical information about where these numbers are coming from, but this will give you a pretty good idea with some extra examples. So you can find this worksheet in the back of the room. Make sure that you grab the worksheet if you're looking at questions here. So reference angles. Reference angles are the acute angle, so acute being less than 90 degrees, that's between the terminal side of this angle and the x-axis. So in terms of number one here, the reference angle is this angle that's right here. Okay, that's the reference angle. So I want to find that reference angle, and I want to take a look at it in terms of what is that angle. That's the reference angle. And I'm going to use that. The reason that I do this is that I'm going to use it in drawing my triangles. So when I'm using sines, cosines, that was not my fault. I blame that on the smartboard here. Apparently it's not going to let me draw a straight line, but you can see the triangle there, hopefully, when you take a look at that. So you look at the triangle, and that's the whole point of the reference angle, is that we're going to be looking at using this angle to help us find these 6 trig functions on this graph. And so what I want to do is I want to look at this graph in terms of how far away I am from the x-axis. And we can see that this angle might possibly be tempted to make us think of it being a negative angle, but I want all my reference angle to be positive angles. So I want to use all positives when I'm looking at these reference angles. So the first thing that I need to figure out is, where am I? Okay, if I'm at negative 490, I want to find out what that angle actually is on the positive side. And you could do it with the negatives too, but I think this side, this way of doing this is going to make more sense for what we're looking at here. So in order to figure out where we're at in this angle, I want to take a look at either this angle right here as the negative, or I want to look at this angle up here as the positive. Okay, and either one would be fine. It doesn't necessarily matter, but I need to figure out where I am on this graph. And so I'm at negative 490 degrees, but what does that actually mean? Well, if I take negative 490 and I find a coterminal angle by adding 360 degrees to it, I'm going to get that I'm actually at negative 130 degrees. Well, that would be the one that's in green here. So I have negative 130 degrees in green. And that's not that bad. I can figure out what that angle is because I know that if I go all the way around the circle, or halfway around the circle rather, and I do that semicircle at the bottom, that this part in black is going to get me to 180. And so if I'm at negative 130 and I need to go to 180, I can hopefully pretty easily figure out that this is just 50 degrees. Okay? But if that doesn't make sense to you, then we can continue and we can find another coterminal angle. We can find the positive one by adding 360 again. And when I do negative 130 plus 360, I get 230 degrees. So I'm at 230 degrees, but I'm too far past that angle. So what I'm looking at, the 230 degrees, is the one in blue. Okay, so this is in blue, but I don't want the whole thing. I want just the small part that I have there in black. And so the part in black is either negative 130, and then figure out, take 180 minus negative 130, plus negative 130 minus 130. So take 180, subtract 130, that will get you the reference angle. Or take the 230 degrees and subtract 180 degrees from that, and that gets you the same exact angle of 50 degrees. Okay, and so my reference angle in this problem is 50 degrees. I'm going to take another shot at that. Hopefully the second example will help you out a little bit in terms of if that was confusing to you. Here's the angle in number 2. It's negative 230. Okay, I need to figure out what is this angle right here, the acute angle between the terminal side and the x-axis. And so I'm way past 180, so I need to figure out well, how far past 180 am I? And so if I take negative 230 and I add 180 degrees, then I'm going to end up figuring out that I'm negative 50 degrees away from the 180 points. Okay, and so I'm 50 degrees past the 180, but in the negative direction. So this angle right here is a 50-degree angle. If you want to look at that in a separate way, and I don't care either way, if you're confused by the negatives here, you can look at this angle as this way here. So the angle that way is negative 230, take 360 and minus that 230. So this angle in red is actually 130 degrees, because all the way around is 360. So the angle in red is 130. I can then say, well, to go from 130 to 180, to get back to the x-axis, this angle has to be a 50-degree angle. It has to be. There's no way for it not to be. Okay? So we're looking at this in terms of being a 50-degree angle between the terminal side and the x-axis, either way. So then I go on. Let's take a look at number 3. The angle that I'm looking for is this angle right here. Okay, that's what I want to know. That's the acute angle between the terminal side and the x-axis. And so I want to figure out that angle. I have a 425-degree angle. Well, I want to figure out what that small part is, so I'm going to take out the one loop that we made, the whole, the 360 degrees that we went too far. So 425 minus 360 gets me at a 65-degree angle. Well, if I took out this part, this is the part that I took out. I took out one time around the circle. Okay, which means that what I'm left with is that 65-degree angle. Okay, that's all I have left. So an angle in the first quadrant is equal to what my reference angle is going to be. So then again, let's go to one. We did one in the third quadrant. We did one in the second quadrant. Let's find one here in the fourth quadrant. And so number 7, this is my reference angle that I want. I want to figure out that one small tiny angle right there. Okay, so a couple ways that you could do that. You could figure out how far I need to go in order to go around the circle. We've already gone around one time, and how much I need to go in order to get around 2 times. And so 2 times around the circle is 720 degrees, 360 plus 360. And then if I subtract 695 from that, if I take away all the stuff that we did, I'm left with just the little part that we're looking for. So if I do that, I'm left with a 25-degree angle there. Okay, that's one way to do it. There's another way. You could take that 695 degrees and you could subtract 360, find a coterminal angle, which gives me 335 degrees. And then I want to figure out that 335 degrees is this angle right here that goes from here around and ends right here. But I don't want that angle. I want the angle that completes the circle, so I'm going to take 360 and subtract 335, which gives me that same 25-degree angle. No matter which way you do this problem, how you think about it, we're looking for that acute angle, and the acute angle is not changing. Okay, so the acute angle is the angle that's between the terminal side and the x-axis. So we're looking for just that small part. And it's not going to change no matter how you look at it. Okay, but you should figure out a way that's going to work for you. There's on your review sheet there's a standard way to do it, but ultimately you need to figure out which way is going to be working for you.